Into it, we're unfortunately going to send another player home, but somebody's got to move forward to try to make their full losers bracket run.
All right, Krogo versus Garchomp. We're going to have the Garchomp coming in, and I'm anticipating to see how Boolerex is going to try to make this comeback after what we had seen earlier on in that winner's bracket versus Jukum, where Jukum was doing a really good job at keeping Boolerex at bay. Now going into this matchup, though, Chef, what are you anticipating here if you were Iceburgy?
Ooh, I'm anticipating a lot of weirdness, and honestly, if I was Bergie, my best bet, I think, would be to just launch my offense, never let Krogan get a chance to do any of the stuff that it can normally do, and just not even try to worry about the matchup. Just play your normal game, which, if any character can just lock another character down, it's probably Krogan. But, hey, not working so far.
Yeah, right now, Iceburgy taking in a lot of that damage. Boolerex keeping Iceburgy at bay. Iceburgy managed to get out of that situation, though, with the grab. Reverse it right back into dual phase, but can he close in this gap right here that Boolerex has now built in? I love the anti-air coming in, as Iceburgy actually knew right there that he wanted to go for. And right now, Boolerex taking a lot of that damage. His shield is so low, and the grab coming forward, that's going to be a good chunk of damage.
Oh, wasn't able to get any sort of follow-up. That was a pretty weird situation. I'm not sure if he really was guaranteed anything, but he tried for a drill, and he's going to get a lot of damage here. The Victini coming out probably more to get a little bit more life than anything else, because, yeah, any single hit right there was going to KO. Just wanted to make sure that he got that meter, that life, and, yeah, he managed to bring it all the way back. I mean, that is going to be one of the biggest things here, is this Garchomp damage. Boolerex is going to be doing a lot of damage in chip and these small hits, but if it just is maybe even 2 strong hits, that could be enough, and Nice gets the crit that's going to lead into some very strong Oki.
Yeah, I like the retaliation right here, too. Boolerex was coming at Iceburgy with that Mimikyu, trying to be able to inflict some of that double negative status that Mimikyu puts on here. Instead, though, Iceburgy hasn't even taken any damage right now. Instead, it's Boolerex on the run, and he does manage to retaliate right back, but not for long. The burst meter's online for both these players, and you already see at the moment Iceburgy moving Boolerex over to the corner to follow up, but I like the respect given as Boolerex pulls that burst meter, and Iceburgy gets grabbed as he was playing extremely defensively right there.
Yeah, now Iceburgy can actually play very defensively in field. You know, one of the best field move speeds coming out of Garchomp, and he knows he can just walk away, wait for this burst to end. That threat is completely gone. He's got burst of his own, on top of the fact that he's going to win this round, or sorry, win this phase. So I expect, oh no, actually some of the synergy gains drained. You don't want to go down without, with your burst again. That's something that we saw from him, unfortunately, against Alistair. And now he's going for the challenge right here. That's a classic challenge, 4-5X in burst, into burst attack, shield break. That should be a full combo, but again, the attempt at the grab was a little bit too late, and Bergie's going to take game number 1.
I love the timing right there, too. Being able to attack right through the grab right there, too. Now finding himself in the lead. Again, Boolerex, if he can make something happen here, he won't be threatened to go home instead, because we have this lower bracket coming in. This is the last chance for both these players to shine within the bracket.
Yeah, oh, that's such a heartbreaker. It's such a heartbreaker that we don't get to see more of these 2 players in the rest of this. But at least one of them, right? We're going to guarantee that one of them will get at least one more game. But yeah, that first game was pretty solid, I would say, in the favor of Iceburgy. One big issue here is that Boolerex sets up so many kind of delayed hits on the ground with either Mimikyu or some of the traps like the bombs, and all of those are a guaranteed way to trigger the Stone Edge command counter that works so well for Bergie. And even if it's blocked, it basically puts you into 1 hit away from your shield being broken, which is why we saw so many different openings after that. Great pickup. Super hard to do. I mean, the execution for both of the Garchomp players that we're seeing in the bracket today, so good.
Yeah, this gap closer that we had seen right there from Iceburgy dealing a good amount of damage right here, too. That's trapped in the corner. He tried to go for the anti-air, but he leaves himself vulnerable for that. Boolerex now trying to retaliate back. The Mimikyu coming in. Going to be able to attack continuously right now and try to inflict that double debuff right here that you now see Iceburgy holding on to. And this is going to set Boolerex up with the advantage if he can try to reverse this situation. And the Victini now coming in to help buff Iceburgy. And this could be it if Boolerex isn't careful. If he gets out of that corner and he does so successfully, he reverses the situation, but that shield is so low right now. Iceburgy needs to be careful.
lands the very low jump back Y into the tornado, which is going to feed phase shift. And there's only 10 seconds left. Doesn't get over the boulder. That's going to eat up about half the time, and making this comeback is going to be nearly impossible. At this point, your best, really all you could hope for was maybe a shield break, because yeah, there is no possibility of making the comeback here time-wise. So Boolerex is going to take that round. I think that would have been the best thing, is to try to go for the double homing, just get rid of some of that meter going into the next round, build a little bit of meter back for yourself. But now, since it didn't happen, Boolerex has full burst and just needs one more round.
Having onto that burst is going to really set Boolerex up here with the advantage, and with Iceburgy, he does have that point on board. Boolerex now just needs to take one more round to even things up here, but Iceburgy opening things up pretty strongly here. He does manage to utilize some of that movement to get out, and manages to pull the burst meter up, so that way he could be able to dig right through that, and now being able to tack on a lot of that extra pressure onto Iceburgy. Look at all this damage coming in, and above to complement it. Victini gonna help out Iceburgy at the same time, and I love the respect from both these players, but Boolerex now is just keeping Iceburgy at bay, and Iceburgy can't seem to close in this gap.
Yeah, I mean, he's going to have some opportunities. Of course, Garchomp does have really good mobility, and yeah, sometimes all it takes is one single hit. He's going to build his own burst. Mimikyu might be, again, Stone Edge. He tries to bait it, still gets hit, though. That is going to be a combo. He is going to get some Oki off of this. I want to see if he's going to phase shift. No, he's just going to go for the reset. If he gets the first activation right here, it will reset the phase shift point. Okay, blocked. That's actually a really big deal for Boolerex. Unfortunately, that I think is going to be it. I think this is actually pretty hard to say whether it's going to be enough or not, but this is a very high damage burst attack, and I think it should be enough, and it will, as Iceburgy is going to tie up the rounds 1-1. Just barely, though.
Yeah, that was close right there. He saw that Boolerex was playing extremely aggressive there, so that's why he pulled the trigger on that burst attack at the same time. So good on Iceburgy on reversing the situation, now tying things up in rounds, and at the same time, Boolerex doing a really good job at keeping Iceburgy at bay, but Iceburgy's been making some of those adjustments and closing in some of that gap, and also being able to go in for a different approach option to make Boolerex actually consider if he's going to try to go in for the cross-up in the air, or if he has to go in for an anti-air to stop him short.
Oh no, and unfortunately the poison jab gave Iceburgy a damage up buff, and then immediately Iceburgy found the opening with the fully charged counter, so an already high damage character getting a buff that normally he wouldn't even be able to get in this matchup, or aside from this matchup, is you're just going to be helping him out. Yeah, we see the very early burst, very necessary. You need to make back a lot of damage, but I mean, Garchomp has some great options. Lands it. He tries to jump cancel it, but he's going to... This seems maybe unnecessary. I don't know if you really needed this, and this might hit. Just barely goes over and gets a punish, but Iceburgy... Okay, yeah, he really wanted to end it right there. He didn't want to save that burst for a defensive time, just in case there was a comeback, and it did end up working out for him, as now Burgy doing quite well.
Yeah, it looked right there that Boolerex actually wanted to reposition himself utilizing that burst, but he had taken so much of that damage, especially after we had seen Iceburgy get that buff from Krogan's funny randomness overall, and being able to actually tack in some of that pressure from the very start of that round. I mean, kind of sealed the deal here for Boolerex, and as we now have going into the next game right now, you have Boolerex wondering, okay, I have to slow things down right now. I was doing great with some of that extra pressure, but now Iceburgy, he's up 2-0, and Boolerex is on his last line, potentially, if he doesn't find a way to reverse the situation.
Actually, I could have just grab punished that, but I believe the field to dual grab doesn't actually give you all that much Oki, or maybe it's the dual field. Maybe I'm backwards on that, but regardless, just went for a homing attack to try to get a little bit more damage and a little bit better of maybe Oki off that situation. However, here we go, big combo. Every hit basically is going to be a big combo. And hits him out of the poison jab. The fully charged back Y is a counter-piercing move, and it leads to a ton of damage. Look at that. For field phase, normally we don't see combos that big, but Garchomp breaks all the rules. And here's another Stone Edge for sure. Oh no, he missed it.
Oh, yeah, right there. And Boolerex actually managing to jump over him, now trying to keep Iceburgy over at the corner. Iceburgy gets out of that situation right there, though. Great positioning, but Boolerex shuts him down up in the air, matching him with that mobility. And the Victini now coming in to build up some of that burst that he knows that he needs right here, as he's only at 47 health. Wants to attack in some of that space, but manages to back off just in time. He catches Boolerex, though, from trying to attack in now, being able to build up into some of that burst. At least Boolerex will have it going into the next round, but Iceburgy now is going to be able to match him with a burst meter of himself.
Yeah, this is match point. I would expect this to go down to burst at some point, too. Let's see if we're going to see the full punish here. He just blocked again. I don't understand why he's not going for a punish on Poison Jab. I don't know if that's like a matchup lack of knowledge thing, but I mean, it's a pretty common move we've seen used online, and it's pretty unsafe. You can't just grab punish it, but he hasn't been going for it. Maybe, yeah, I think he can. I think he can even with this character. Maybe not though. But here we go.
We'll go into that matchup too, yeah. Now looking at how that right now Boolerex has that burst meter at the ready. You know, Iceburgy wants to try to utilize this maybe defensively right here if he wants to close things out, or if he wants to anticipate another round, maybe hold on to that burst. But he's been able to reverse the situation, and the Mimikyu coming in. The double debuff is gonna land, as well as a lot of damage coming forward from Boolerex to get in that follow-up from the Mimikyu.
But the dig is going to get almost all the way in before he gets hit by a field forward Lion. Again, the dig. Dig is such a good option against so many options that Krogunk is trying to throw out. And here's the burst. We're going to see... Oh, actually, this is going to be a little bit of a shield with this Victini. All right, he decides to just wait it out. Very smart. But look at his faces from both sides. And the big deal here is that even if Boolerex wins this round with this burst, unless we see a reverse burst from Bergie, he's going to be able to save it. I don't know what's going to happen here. Okay, it's going to hit. Oh, the frogs! Here come the frogs! Everybody out there, I want to see a salute.
Oh. We're gonna have a party out here too. The salute and closing it out, at least the first round right here. Iceburgy, though, didn't have to use his burst, and that's gonna be a scary situation since Iceburgy is on match point at the same time here. Boolerex, I like the way he used that burst attack. He called out Iceburgy's dig to try to go around it, but, you know, it caught him at the same time. Can he maintain that momentum with Iceburgy keeping him by the wall right now, Chef, though?
Oh, I think the answer is yes. I have to say, if there's one thing that Bergie's proven to everybody, he is the Stone Edge master, and I say that he's gonna get the guarantee wall break. Will he? Okay, he might do the unblockable. Oh no, he's not. He's just gonna go for the full combo. That was still, I mean, perfectly good. And look at this, the life lead is so huge right now. He's got every resource he could possibly want, and so much of it has come from 2 Stone Edges in that single phase. But he just needs to land one more hit after this field shift, and now he just is in such a scared position. I want to see if we're going to see an offensive burst. I wouldn't be surprised. Oh no, he doesn't have it anymore. Victini will give it back at least. Oh, but the Victini, and he's going to come off the wall and get the conversion. Such a rare way to end a round. And now twice we've seen full conversions from Victini, from Iceburgy, and that is quite the way to move on. There's 2 things for Iceburgy. Number 1, absolutely the Stone Edge master. Number 2, absolutely the Victini master. 2 things that we don't see as much from nearly any other player, but he has just absolutely been using.